Do you want a watch that looks like an Omega but has a Casio price? Well, Timex has delivered exactly that with this watch. It's clearly borrowed some elements from some of Omega's most popular watches, but to be fair to the Timex, they have put their own little twist on the design to deliver something that is somewhat original. For anyone who is a spec enthusiast, someone who needs to have great value for money with their watches, this watch just isn't for you. But if you want a good looking, everyday watch for your collection, then stay tuned because I think I've found it. Hello there, my name is Kieran. If you're addicted to watches like I am, then I definitely think you should subscribe so that we can share the pain of watch collecting together. So this Timex clearly takes inspiration from the Omega Railmaster and various vintage references including the Seamaster 300. There is one specific version of this Timex that's almost on the nose with those vintage Omegas, with the black dial and faux patina. I don't mind that one, I still think it's a good looking watch, but I definitely prefer these newer versions that have a little bit more originality to their designs. It is easy to spot the similarities between this Timex and the Omega, the Arabics at the 12, 3, 6 and 9 being the biggest giveaway, but we do also have the arrowed hand and the sword minute too. But Timex uses simple stick markers around the dial instead of daggers. The outer dial ring is also a feature not found on the Omega, which features 5-minute markings and contrasts heavily with the center dial. And the lollipop seconds hand is only a small difference, but it's one that I actually appreciate over the Omega. The dial on this Timex is as basic as it gets. Nothing is applied, one flat level to the dial, even the finish is just a matte paint. But one thing I do massively appreciate about this watch is the colour of the dial. This sagey green is just fantastic. It's a welcome addition to my collection, as it's a shade of green that you seldom see. The level of quality continues with the rest of the watch, and yes, I do mean lack of quality. Now the case of this watch is completely different to any you'll find on an Omega. This is Timex's own case shape that they use for all of their Timex standard models. It's extremely basic, similar to what you'd see on a Nomos for example. Nothing extra, just the things that need to be there. The case houses the dial, the lugs hold the strap. It's like deconstructing a watch case to the parts that actually matter the most. Everything else has simply been deleted. However, the case does reveal the biggest flaw with this watch. As usual with the Timex standard range, we don't see the use of stainless steel with this watch. Unfortunately, Timex uses a low lead brass that is chrome plated, meaning that this watch looks like it's made from steel without any of the benefits of it actually being so. Listen, it goes without saying that it would have been 1,000 times better if this watch was made from stainless steel, and at the price Timex is charging for this watch, it probably should be. But a chrome plated brass case isn't the worst thing in the world. If this piece is going to be part of a large watch collection, you'll likely never even see it patina because it won't go through enough hardship to patina the case anyway. And let's be honest, you'll likely own this watch for a year or two, then either give it to a family member or stick it on eBay. But the terrible specs don't just stop at the case, unfortunately. Covering the dial is a flat mineral glass. The crystal is extremely clear though, so kind of acceptable, but not really. Obviously inside we have a quartz movement. I am pleased that this is a genuine 3-hand quartz movement though with no ghost date position, and that battery allows for the best feature of this watch, the Indiglow backlight. Pressing the crown inwards reveals the full dial in all of its glory, a feature that you'll only find on Timex watches. I would say that this is the best watch to leave on a bedside table for checking the time in the middle of the night, but the ticking noise is that loud on this watch that you'll likely be unable to fall asleep in the first place. The push-pull crown and snap-on caseback only gives us 50 meters of water resistance. Timex does state on their website that this watch is suitable for light swimming. I probably wouldn't risk that, but apparently you can. I do think that it's hilarious though that the highest quality part of this whole watch is the supplied strap. It's actually pretty decent quality. The leather has an oiled finish, it's soft and supple, and the green stitching is a nice touch. It's a little bit long for my wrist, but that means it will fit wrists up to like 8 inches, and I think that the fit of this watch will work for a lot of people. 40mm case diameter, 48mm lug to lug, and a 9mm thickness. It's a watch that has a lot of presence on wrist because the dial is so large, but the thickness and height keep it looking well proportioned, and I think that that's what this watch is all about. There's no way you'd buy this watch to be your daily beater, because the case and crystal will show wear a lot quicker than other watches. I think you buy this watch because you enjoy how it looks. You might enjoy the Omega design elements. You enjoy the shape of the case. You probably already have 10 watches with automatic movements, sapphire crystals and screw down crowns. Not every watch needs to have 10 out of 10 specs. I certainly didn't buy this watch because I was expecting it to be great quality. I bought it because I really enjoyed the look of the dial. The vintage Omega that this is a homage Homage 2 is one of my favourite designs of all time, and I appreciate that TIMEX has taken the design and added some unique elements to evolve it into something slightly different. I do think though that the $100 price tag for this watch is incredibly steep, especially when you consider what else you can get for $100. I'm talking about some older Seiko 5 models, Casio Edifice watches with sapphire crystals, and Orients have some great watches for $100 too. But I didn't want any of those, I've had them all in the past. I wanted this cheaply made, effortlessly cool Timex watch. I don't care if it's got poor specs for the cash, I think it looks awesome. I'll leave a link to buy this watch from the same website that I bought mine in the description. But if this watch didn't quench your thirst, then you need to go and check out my 50 budget watches that every enthusiast should consider video. Go on, go and check it out. I'll see you over there. Bye for now.